Hi, today I'll be talking about LeadSquared Zoom meeting connector. So in order to use Zoom meeting connector, first you have to log into application, navigate to apps marketplace, search for Zoom, and you'll get this Zoom meeting connector. So um, you have to first install the connector. Once it is installed, click on configure. So you'll be presented with a screen where you have to log in with your Zoom credentials. So there's an option to sign in with Zoom. So I'll click on that. So it will be asked, you'll be asked to enter your Zoom credentials. So I've already logged in, so it is taking my logged in credentials. And there are certain permissions which we ask from users in order to work efficiently with Zoom. So these are the scopes so that we can create meetings on behalf of user or admin, whichever account is created. So we'll be asking certain permissions, and we can manage or create the meetings directly from LeadSquared. So these are those permissions. So user has to allow all these permissions. So once user clicks on allow, the connector status will be captured, and it will be status will be active. So click on next, and yeah, this is one important step. By default, Zoom username is selected as email address, where we'll consider that your LeadSquared mail address and your Zoom mail address are same. So if that is not the case, you have to populate your Zoom's mail ID in any of the custom fields. For example, if I take it as address, so if I take it as address and save it, so you have to make sure the address field is populated with your Zoom's login mail ID. For example, you can navigate to settings, profile settings, and inside profile there will be a field called as address. So you need to make sure that this field is populated with your Zoom's mail address, Zoom's account's email ID with which you log into Zoom. So you can edit and populate this field. So once you make sure this is populated with your Zoom mail ID, you can come back, save the details. Next steps are the basic details, like if you want to create a task whenever a Zoom meeting is created, you can enable this and select the fields. And some default settings, admin settings, such as if you want to start the recording immediately once the meeting starts, or if you want to allow attendees to join before the host, right? So all those features you can enable it here and save the details. All these steps are mentioned in the help article. We'll just move ahead and save this. So once the configuration is saved, you can close this, navigate to leads, manage leads page. So in manage leads, on any of the lead, you can now trigger you can open any of the lead and try to create the Zoom meeting for that particular lead. So you have to uh, open the lead, and in lead actions you will find a online meeting link. So you can click on Zoom meeting, schedule a Zoom meeting option. So there will be a pop-up uh, which will be opened, where you have to enter the meeting. So I am creating a meeting for admin. So whatever the details I have added in the address field, this is the admin credentials with which my Zoom account is. So I'm creating a meeting directly for the admin. So I'm giving it as admin meeting, and I will create. So you will be getting the meeting created and the link also here. So you can directly copy this and join, and we also post the activity that Zoom meeting is created and what is the status it is scheduled. So as soon as I start this meeting, the status gets changed to started. We'll also capture the start time, end time, uh, all those details. So once the meeting starts, the the activity gets changed to meeting started. If I come back and refresh in the lead field, um, the activity status will be meeting started, activity will be posted if that option is selected in the configuration, and the status of Zoom meeting activity will be started, and we'll also capture the meeting start time. So this is one of the scopes we are asking, where we are getting, and we are subscribing for the events. And once I end the meeting, meeting status would be completed, and we'll also capture the status as completed, meeting completed, and we'll also capture the end time of the meeting. So meeting will be completed, and we'll also get, after some time, we'll also get the recording URL, and we'll attach that URL as part of this activity. So which it will take some time to get the recording URL from Zoom to be added here. So once we get that, we'll be updating it here. Yeah, so the meeting recording will be as shown as a URL, and also we'll attach the meeting recordings here. So user can view those attachments. So this was the admin flow. So now if as an admin, as I have connected, and if I want to create a meeting on behalf of some other user part of the same Zoom account, so what you need to change is you have to go back to your profile settings profile, then change the address field, as we have selected address as our field. So you have to change this. Instead of ZoomConf, you have to give the other user's mail ID here, which means whatever meetings you create now, this user will be the host. So if you save this, and if I go back to the same lead again and create one more meeting, this time this Zoom meeting will be hosted by the other user, not the admin. So earlier the time zone was India, based on the admin's time zone was India. This user time zone is Kuala Lumpur, so it is shown according to the user which we have selected. So I have to, so this is user meeting. So I just create a user meeting. I just change the time as we are in different time zone, and I can create a meeting. Similarly, this activity gets created. This will, because there might be a same task at the there might be a task at the same time. So meeting got created. I can copy this and start as a host. I am sorry, as a admin. I'll be starting that meeting. So this is the meeting, user meeting, which I've created. And as I've logged in with admin, if I start this meeting, I'll be joining this meeting as a participant and not as a host. So if I join this meeting, I'll be asked to enter my name, because I am not the host. I am the participant for this meeting. So I'll be treated as a participant and not host. So the actual host would be the user which you have added in address field. So this is not host. This is the participant. So this is how you can configure the schedule a meeting for on behalf of some other user. At last, there's also an option if you want to disconnect your account from LeadSquared, your Zoom account. Again, go back to configuration, um, and there's an option you can disconnect. So once you disconnect this, the Zoom account from LeadSquared will be disconnected, and you no more will be able to use the features which we just discussed. This is all about Zoom meeting connector. Thank you.